Welcome back for another week. I'm DM Alan. Let's get it started.
Last time on Roll with Advantage.
I don't know what's wrong, but I did the spell correctly. Something's not right here.
The most powerful, most devout looking cleric, a cleric of Helm, walks up and attempts to speak with Ted. And she says the same thing, and she turns to you and she says,
I'm sorry. Something's wrong. It's not that the spirit isn't answering, there's nothing to answer.
I have grave news. It seems you have upset the wrong dragons. There's 4 dragons heading towards Everland.
Kinian, you're spending the night in the stable.
With Slowhoof?
Yes, and you guys are swapping stories. I think Slowhoof is regaling you with stories of wide green fields and things like that, telling you of a mare that he once knew.
I'm totally making awkward conversation.
Okay.
Because he keeps talking about all these beautiful things, and I keep talking about all the slaughter and what happens when you cut off a head of a troll.
Yeah. It's like this perfect juxtaposition of beauty and just pure damage.
Yes.
And a shadowy figure enters the stable, and I think the camera kind of sees the shadowy figure and Kinian talking for a while, and then we come back to the morning when Keo is talking to Epido.
Right now, Keo's figuring out if he can set up, if they can get the ship finished in a day. And on his second crow's nest, since he's going to chop the ship and lengthen it, if he can set up, if a ballista set up where it's got a windlass with like a hamster wheel that supper will go in to cock it. And then, spring-loaded magazine with a ratchet device to load bolts.
Semi-automatic.
Yeah. And then, he's wondering he's thinking to himself, is that going to be enough to stop 4 dragons?
I'd like to see schematics of this weapon.
I like the idea of this weapon.
Oh, yeah. More seriously, he's thinking about teleport circles and how to get all the people out of town.
Yeah.
Now, does Epido let Keo know that it's because of the giant size? Because Kinian was like a giant fighting him?
I don't know that he necessarily knows that. So. Give me an intelligence check.
Wow. Oh. Hey, that's not rolling like me. So, intelligence... That's going to be a 21.
I think you can infer this kind of information.
Infer that dragons and giants don't like each other. And
right. And from past conversations with Hikatan, that everything's been super edgy right now. And with the information that you know from the Tome of Epido, you can kind of understand why. Epido says... do you need me to stay?
No, we need us all to leave.
Interesting. You won't stand your ground.
The best fights are when no one dies.
And he puts his hand on your shoulder and he says, this is probably the proudest moment I've had. So how do you think we should do this?
I pull out from my pack all the papers that I had lined in the barrel. And I scratch my head and I say, I think this will work.
That's just a normal teleportation spell.
And they're like, but if we write it really big...
If you can gather arcanists from this town, we might be able to do something like that. It might take a while, but I will definitely help. Just so that you know, your friend Eifer's been found, and we've had him in our protection. Brickleworm showed up less than a day ago. I've put Eifer under Brickleworm's protection. He was being pursued
by the cult.
Yeah. I think at this point, Kyo would be getting a little uncomfortable being alone with his dad. So he's gonna be like, so we should probably get everyone here.
You mean like everyone or like everyone? like the town or like the Obsidian Flame?
We'll start with the Obsidian Flame. see how that goes and work from there.
Is there anything you need me to do?
I'm like, it's okay, Dad. I'll go get him.
Okay. I'm proud of you, son. He gives you the thumbs up. And
Man, Apeto's gone full dad today.
yeah, apparently.
Yeah, he kind of
It could
oscillates back and forth.
Yeah. He's like throwing Keo like way off. Like
Does Epido smell drunk, like dragon drunk right now? Because this is a little more touchy-feely than last time.
I don't. I think if anything, it might be the impending death of his son that's bringing it out. But yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why I found that so funny.
Yeah, last time he was talking about how kobold girls are easy.
So Keo, you go off and round up everyone.
Mm-hmm. So I start by getting supper. Then I go and I wake Nymeria up carefully. Well, I get Fatso because it's going to be kind of packed. And then I'm wondering where Kinian is, so I go to ask Minette where Kinian is, and then by the way, but I don't wake Tin up because she's scary. She makes bright lights, and I
don't know that you would be like meditating at this point.
I leave a note gently for her.
I don't think I'm that terrifying to Keo. Like, in terms of how I would act to Keo, but...
Well, no, you're very kind to Keo, but in his head, you're like some Valkyrie.
Fuck yes, I like that.
Yes!
Yeah.
Except for me, apparently.
Well, no, I slip you a note.
Oh,
You're
okay.
pretty perceptive.
Okay,
I think
so within a minute or two after everyone else I show up.
So you all meet up in the middle of this this road. So Epido, he says, I assume Keo filled you all in.
Which Keo didn't. he just got everybody. He's like,
We were
You
told,
haven't known your son very long, have you?
No.
we were told that we all had to come here, and that was about it.
I get uncomfortably close to Epido. And I'm like looking at him really closely in my hand.
You do like the uncomfortable
I'm hover
back
handing.
rub.
I'm like hover handing because I'm not going to touch him.
Yeah.
But I'm like,
He's still a gnome, right?
Yep.
and I don't know that dragons even have a sense of personal space,
I still kind of yank at Kenyon's arm. Like, come on.
Well, long and short of it, 4 dragons are coming to siege the town.
Oh, wonderful. Do we know what kind of dragons? Are they all babies by chance?
I believe not. The information given to me from my intel is that there's a red dragon, a black dragon, and a frost dragon. I understand that's only 3, but that's all my intel had.
I pull out a potion and I say, got a potion of giant size.
I grab that out of his hand.
Contested.
Yeah.
Do you have a potion of dragon size?
No.
Shame. Are you actually going to try to yank it?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Oh, that's not so good.
11.
17.
So either way, I think it's a fun visualization. Like he's holding it out, and Minette like is just standing still for a second, and then like leaps to try and grab it, and just comes up just too short. And Gideon just kind of lifts his arm slightly, like a kid jumping for his meal. So how are we gonna save this town? Keo votes to run, to bring the town with him.
I say, we teleport the town to Phandalin.
I'm on board with evacuating the citizens, but if the dragons are after us, if we leave, they're just going to hunt for us and potentially cause more destruction while they try to hunt
I
us
draw
down.
a small picture of the town with a big teleport circle around the whole town.
Okay. Okay.
Harshnag was good in a fight. Where is he?
Harshnag. He hasn't been seen since he left with you guys. Do you know
Well,
any
Ifer-
information about
Ifer
him?
would have seen him after that, wouldn't he have?
Ifer has no clue. From the information that he gave me, he couldn't find Harshnag. He went back to where you guys dropped him off, and all there was a bunch of rope and what looked like a campsite. Apparently there was a scuffle, but no bodies.
Maybe my girlfriend will help us. And I pull out the conch.
Did you woo a storm giant?
You know it.
Minette's
She's
just shaking
crazy
his
about
head.
me.
Minette, what?
Minette's shaking his head. Just
Yeah, I just palm
no,
to
he didn't.
forehead.
I bring her presents.
Just because you bring someone presents doesn't mean they're your girlfriend. Pro tip.
But she accepted them.
Well, she's a queen. Be rude for her to not accept a gift.
I'm a pirate king. I've got a boat.
I'm saying don't.
Pirate King? Epino was like, whoa, when did that happen?
I've got a boat. It's broken right now.
I just think it'd be best for you to not be presumptuous on that.
Maybe she would grant shelter.
It's worth a try. I do hesitate. I mean, the dragons and the giants are kind of on a rocky. I don't even know if I'd call it a truce. Tensions are pretty high.
Ooh, I know. I've got a great idea. We should take the townspeople somewhere where there are lots of dragons, but not bad dragons. That way the dragons can't say it's the giants.
What place could we easily bring them to before the afternoon?
Well, I'm not sure. I think you guys are onto something about the teleportation. Maybe if you can take them somewhere like well outside of the city, or if you were able to somehow hide the city, that's a tough question.
Why are they coming to the city?
We killed a dragon and you killed a dragon within the past 2-3 days, so.
I'm scratching my head because how would they know
Know what?
that we killed the dragon?
Right. So, Epito says...
They have spies.
Exactly, Keo. So, story goes that,
I look at Kenyon. You're the spy.
he says, story goes that you all killed, Hoarfrost. Well, you apparently incurred Hoarfrost's, rage somehow. I'm not quite sure how that happened. But Eisenkrieg, the mate of Hoarfrost, watched as you felled her, saw how
When I felled her,
allies... Was that you?
No, it was me.
Oh, she fell pretty hard, and I point to the tower, the rubble.
Cool, so we've killed Hoarfrost's mate and offspring.
You killed Hoarfrost.
Oh.
Eisenkrieg
Okay.
is her mate.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. And, well, from my information, Eisenkrieg sought out aid from an enclave of evil dragons. You see, evil dragons have been gathering in the north. They're pretty edgy about attacks from giants. That's the only way that they would have agreed to even take on this campaign of retribution.
So wait, they don't want the giants to attack them?
No one wants giants to attack them. I think it was probably more because giants committed murder on a dragon.
Oh, the giant's potion. I see.
which now makes sense with what Kinian has showed me.
I come to the Giants' defense, even though I'm loath to do it. I say, well, the Giants, they may have killed a dragon, but she was pretending to be a giant. And, oh, not that dragon.
No. What dragon are you talking about? Imrith.
Imrith, yes.
Yeah.
I heard about her death. That was you guys?
Yep.
It's getting hard to keep track of the dragons
me.
we've killed.
Yeah.
That's a little scary, guys.
Well, in our defense, they're all chromatic dragons.
Q told me I'm not allowed to kill you.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's always been self-defense.
That would be interesting.
Nope.
So
Not always. Not with Kenny.
So, while we're flapping our lips here, we should probably come up with a solid plan.
I've got an axe.
We could fight.
What if we went to Maelstrom and explained about the dragons coming and asking if we can teleport all the townspeople to Maelstrom for refuge during the attack?
That might work.
Let's go ask.
And after that, we can figure out what we're going to do about the actual fight, but...
Do you want to come?
I am going to stay out of this one.
That's probably wise. I don't know if they'd let you leave.
Yeah, I'm sure they're nice people. I just don't want to put myself in that situation. Anyways, away with you all.
Before Kinian has a chance to blow the conch, I turn to Apetto and ask him if he can go to Elders Hall to warn the elders so they can start gathering up all the townspeople.
I will try.
As Kinian starts to blow the conch, I say, wait, Dad, I just want to say...
And then you disappear. Yeah. Yep.
I love you.
That's how you finish the sentence as you appear in the wet purple stone room.
And it's
And there's
really
there's a
loud.
guard in there.
I was just about to say, is there like a guard facing Keo?
I like that. I think there's a guard there like mopping up the dragon blood and and he's like, he looks up and Keo's looking right at him with his hand up and he's like, I love you. And he's like,
wow, I love you too, little buddy.
Then I'm
Can we
awkwardly...
just be friends
Yeah.
first?
Do you need a hug?
And so I still look like a gnome at this point.
yeah.
That looks just like Ifer.
Okay.
Yeah, and say, keep up the good work.
And he goes back along mopping just.
I stop at the big gash in the floor, and I point to the giant, and I point to the floor, and I say, you missed a spot. And then I start climbing up the stairs.
I'll show you my spot, goddammit.
Oh yeah, I'm heading to
Okay.
the
We
bar.
follow.
You go straight to the bar.
This is like my second house, man.
Yeah, you get like, you order 2 drinks, one for Sarissa.
Oh, I just walk behind the bar.
the big hill giant's like, whoa, fuck it. And you've done this enough now that...
His face is kind of becoming known.
Yeah. I think Kinian, like every time he drops off a dragon, he just like, he quick runs up and grabs a bottle, like just, this is mine now, and bounces.
I'm like Kimmy Gibbler, but like a worse version. Because it's not just my feet that stink.
I appreciate the reference.
So the rest of us have presumably made it to the outside of Sarissa's chambers.
Yeah. The guards now know you guys. And they open the chambers up, and there sits Sarissa and Hikatan and her uncle Uther.
And I rolled 15 for performance for crab tickles.
Ooh, you hear this very nice jazz come across the amphitheater, and it's kind of soothing. It's quite impressive. and then you look back 10 and you see Kinian's got this big dumb look on his face, like doom 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 doom.
Oh gosh, maybe I shouldn't have said anything earlier.
Sarissa says,
Welcome back, my friends. What can I do for you?
I pull out my pipe and I start packing it. I light it with an obsidian flame.
So we've sort of drawn the ire of some dragons.
That's not good.
Yeah, they're heading towards a town that we've been resupplying in recently, and it's probably not going to turn out good.
I think you'll be fine. From what Kinian's been leaving me,
There's 4 this time.
Oh,
And we really don't have good information about which ones they are. So, for all we know, there's gonna be 4 ancient dragons.
well, you're welcome to stay here.
We were actually hoping that you could be gracious enough to host the townspeople of said town. It's not a very big town.
she's
but
like sipping her drink, and as she does, she's
And
like,
Keo continues, and you have a lot of space here. I mean, they won't be a bother at all. You'll hardly notice them.
she says,
How many people are we talking?
How many people live in Everland?
About
DM?
Probably about 5,000.
yeah, I mean, it's a pretty decent size town. You guys are looking at roughly about 5,000 people in total.
So that's like, what, 10 giants? I mean, right, because...
I don't think... Are we really that big to you guys?
Well, think about it this
It's a
way.
little hurtful, Keo.
Because
And she pats her her under her chin. She's like,
well, Keo's like, well, you see, volume's a cubic function.
We can't stack people.
But by the way, do you have any cubic gates? No, but seriously, a storm giant's how tall? Like 28 feet, something like that.
I believe a storm giant is standing about 18 feet.
18. So you're looking at 3 cubes, so about 9.
Are you seriously
That's what it is.
suggesting to stack people?
Keo, that's not gonna work. They
And-
can't sleep on top of each other.
And from
They're
from
not
Keo's
kobolds.
from Keo's standpoint, he's like 2 feet tall, so 18. That's like 9 of him. So a giant's got to be taking up nearly 100 times the volume.
26 feet tall
26.
is
So
the average.
a lot more than 100 times the volume. So
Listen, we have a large amount of space. 5,000 people is an awful lot of people.
And King Hikatan kicks in and he says,
Yes, we can house most of them. We could potentially even house all of them if we're able to put them in some sort of stasis and float them in the water.
I'm intrigued. The other thing is we could use this as a staging area, perhaps. I mean,
To bounce them somewhere else. Interesting. I mean, if you can find another place, it's quite possible.
I don't think the stasis thing is a terrible idea.
he,
I don't know if everyone would be thrilled
I
about
wonder
it,
if we could
but,
put the dragons in stasis.
but we're protecting them from dragons attacking.
He says,
so-
Hikatan looks over to his brother Uther and he says,
Uther, go get the stasis kelp.
Yeah, and at some point Keo slips that. Yeah, you can just think of this as as the initiation for your joining the Emerald Enclave.
and he goes,
Wait, what?
We have great benefits. Don't worry.
Dental?
You're kind of tall, but so are the trees. And
At that moment, Uther comes back and he's got these kelp apparatuses that look almost like face masks. He says,
Now these are breathing apparatuses, so they allow you to breathe underwater, but they put you to sleep.
what we could do is just have the people wear them, throw them in the river. They flow down. That way we don't have to use a whole bunch of magic to move them.
Oh, interesting.
Because Kyo has a hard sense of scale.
Yeah. So, actually, Hikatan says,
So, are they coming here or not?
We'll have to discuss whether or not the townspeople are gonna be okay with that situation.
I think they'll find
Sure.
it preferable to dragon attack.
Possibly, yeah. If there are some holdouts of like a small group of people that really don't want to go into stasis, are they welcome to still stay here outside of stasis?
Yes.
Sarissa says,
Yes. I think we can host no more than about 800 people, and that's pushing our limits. We really don't have. I mean, we can nap them in the halls and things like that. But we really don't have that much linear space.
Oh, and we understand. We don't want to take advantage of your hospitality or anything like that.
Absolutely. I very much appreciate it. Yes, we can do our best to accommodate. Let us know your final number and we'll do what we can.
Minette, 10, do you two have a way of contacting your people in Waterdeep?
Not instantaneously.
I'm gonna stumble in. Sarissa, I'm gonna need to employ Whale Team 6.
not Whale Team 6.
Whale Team 6
What is Whale Team 6?
to assist with the evacuation of the city. We can bring them here, right?
As I've told your friends, yes, many are welcome.
Yeah!
Are you asking for an elite task force
Yeah, Whale
of
Team
giants?
6.
Done.
And she snaps her fingers, and 6 storm giants enter the room.
Drop from the ceiling.
Yeah. I like it. They drop from the ceiling on like kelp repels. They're like,
Yes.
and
Were you in here the whole time?
We're everywhere.
Holy shit, I'm a captain. And a captain.
they've got like shell, like, what do you call it? The clips, and he like unclips
Bandoliers.
it. Yeah. And he's got like this giant, big, bushy, like storm giant beard, and he says,
Whatever you need, we're here.
I turn to Manette and I whisper to him, I'm like, you're totally gonna tell these guys what to do, right? Because I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. I'm wasted.
Kenion's more of a figurehead than a leader.
And I'm like, let's roll out! And I walk into the door.
Kenyon's the person, like,
literally just
I
like
walk into the door.
I was gonna say, Kenyon's the person when you have a large crowd that you want to have a speech to, you have him there to warm the crowd up, and then you bring in the main speaker, you know?
Yes. So Orca Team 6 is standing there.
And I
Should we come back with you?
Heck yes. I
Yeah.
will tell you what to do. And I motion to Minette. I'm like, I can't tell them what to do.
You do need to be very careful not to leave like signs of giants, though.
And they're looking at their like kelp like clothes and their shell armor and their height, and they're like,
Okay,
They have
we're
natural
very
ghillie
discreet.
suits.
yeah, they have kelp ghillie suits.
only one guy does. And he's got like this giant size harpoon gun, and he's just like, he's got it like holstered on his back, and he looks badass.
Is his name Squid Eye?
Yes. So Queen Sarissa says,
Now that you know about Orca Team 6, is there anything
over
else that we can do for you? Otherwise, I think you might have a lot of work ahead of you moving 5,000 people.
Yes, I think we have asked
So-
enough of you, and
Let's see
that we should start rounding up some townspeople.
How many people can the conch teleport?
That was going to be my question when we got back. Is it like we can all hold hands and bring
need
across
some
like
more.
400 people at a time or something?
We honestly haven't tried it with small folks. We don't usually do it more than like 10 people at a time.
So that's fine then.
I could probably do 1,000 at a time then.
Yeah. She's
Or at least 100.
we're totally like insulting her with the
Killer
joining.
Orca Team 6. You all have conches, right?
And they're like, and they pull out conches.
Let's do this! And then I look to Minette and I'm like, come on, man. You gotta tell me what to do here.
Orca Team 6 is like, every member of Orca Team 6 is outfitted with one conch.
So we have 7 conches to work with.
This is my conch. There are many like it, but this one is my own.
Yes.
All right, I think we should head back to Everlyn.
So you all return back to the location that you originally came from. Did you bring the giants with you?
Oh, hells yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, because
So-
they've got more
Minette,
conscience.
I'm commanding these. And I look to Minette, I'm like, no, I'm not really commanding these.
Minette, this would be a perfect time for you to kind of guide Kenyon, since he seems to be looking to you for advice.
For guidance? Aw.
And I say this like next to Minette, so it's kind of quiet, not too loud, but
I take off running to the town of elders, or the hall of elders. Let's do this! And I'm running, I'm storming the castle.
As they're about to take off, I get their attention and say, don't actually listen to anything Kenyon says. He's kind of the group idiot.
The lead of the team is like,
Oh yeah, we've got one like that too. His name's Jeff.
and like you look over and he's cross-eyed, and he's like, and he's like swatting at like a fly in the air, and he's like,
We just keep him around because he's really good at hitting things.
Is this the hill giant of the Orca Team 6?
he's a storm giant, but they refer to him as a hill giant.
That's his,
good thing
that's his
Kenyon
call
was already
sign.
far away.
Yeah, his call sign's Hill Giant 1.
It's a good thing Kenyon had already run far ahead.
I feel I will grow to be good friends with Hill Giant 1.
HG1.
HG1.
I think actually that each one of these giants have their own call signs
Yes, oh,
too.
they do,
There's
they do.
SG1, SG2, SG3. It's just right down the line.
Is one of them
More
MacGyver?
creative. They've got to be more creative than that.
No, they don't.
That's
they
a
don't,
Stargate reference
Yeah,
for everybody
yeah.
who missed
They
it.
don't. They don't mind being called these names. So, anyways, so Kenyon's taking off, and
And the rest of us follow at a leisurely pace so that we don't destroy the town before the dragons get
Yeah.
I was
here.
gonna say we should probably get like rescuing town insurance, since we're probably gonna be just accidentally destroying a lot of
think-
things.
I'm going to be taking off too.
Okay.
Just to survey.
okay, on the broom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm just going to interrupt you really quick. I want to tell you about Incompetech. Incompetech.com is a fantastic website. You can get a lot of really good soundtracks from there. It's mainly free to use. Incompetech.com is a great website. Go check it out. They have great music. They have great soundtracks. We use them all the time. Highly recommend them. Also, I want to give a big shout out to our fan, Sean Ritzma. He was really, really nice and sent us these super cool dice trays. I'm going to take a picture of them right now. I'm going to put them up on social media, Twitter and Facebook. Thank you so much, Sean. This was super duper cool. We used it in tonight's recording, and they are really awesome. They're really useful. If you want to say hi or send stuff to the show, hit us up on our respective Twitter or Facebook, and we'll figure something out. Thanks again, Sean. Thanks everyone for listening. I'm going to stop yapping my jaw, and we're going to get back to the action. So
how did Apeto do in getting the elders to realize the danger and start rallying all the townspeople so that we can efficiently move to the next stage of...
Yeah.
Remember,
good question.
He's a legendary gold dragon, so he's got to have like a charisma of like 35 or something.
It's amazing, right? And Kinian gets there, and he's still trying to convince the guards.
He's probably like wooing one of the...
Yeah. He's there's a male guard, and he's
you have
like...
a brother now, Kyo.
Yeah, he's like... Well, I mean, I think dragons are down with anything, right? I mean, and so like he's like, hey buddy, when do you get off your shift? And that's when Kinian runs up, and he looks at Kinian, and he's like, these guys are not letting me through.
Have you tried burning the gate?
God, no!
I tried burning the wall here. Someone put out fire.
No, wait, so Apeto hasn't actually gone into the town of elders?
No.
Or the whole...
No,
Damn it.
it's been no longer than 30 minutes.
I'm like...
So he's still working at
They
it.
love me here, and I pick up Epido.
You pick him up and put him on your shoulder.
So much for charisma of 35.
Yeah. And
he's not a local town hero.
Right, exactly. The guards are like, oh shit, you know Kinian? And Epido's like, yeah, that's what I've been trying to say. And they're like, well, man, come on in, Kinian. This is fantastic. It's an honor to have you here.
You know how like there's junior fire brigade, like little stickers they give little kids?
Yeah.
I slap like a junior Order of the Phoenix sticker right on Epito.
Order of the Phoenix.
Harry Potter.
So,
Always be branding improperly.
So, one of the guards...
I think Kinian does this. He
Kinian has the wrong
brand
stuff on it just because he's not supposed to always be branding.
Yeah.
It's the rest of us who brand.
Phoenixes do flame stuff. And
Yeah.
He was really drunk when he had that commission.
Last time we told Kinian to brand people, it was a bad idea.
Yeah, it was a really bad idea. Half the crew ended up with scars.
Before we were able to intervene.
So I'm putting the wrong stickers on children through the town?
Yeah.
It's like a
At least they're stickers.
It's a sticker. It's just a really hot sticker. Total fast forward. You guys are all in the circular, in the center of that circular table, and most of you haven't been here, but Minette and Tin have. The elders are there, and they're one shy now. You notice that one of the elders are missing. The one that took a pretty good liking to you guys last time. And they all look pretty sullen. I mean, for them, this just happened yesterday, right? And they, you guys unload the information to them, right? The high elf has his fingers like in a, I don't know, in a point, like his palms are touching, and he's got them to his lips, and he says, "This is grave news. How do you propose to get all 5,111 people out of town?"
My girlfriend. Yeah. You see this?
It's a shell. And what the hell are those storm giants doing outside our keep?
They're going to help evacuate everyone.
That's my team.
My God, you guys are connected. I've heard
The writing's
stories.
on the wall.
Is the stories of the Kraken true then?
Depends on which stories you've heard.
What Kraken?
So anyways,
Now, how much time has passed at this point?
no more than an hour.
Because
Since-
Kyo's going to do one
Epido-
loop.
Since Epido told
Yeah.
the story to the point that you guys are talking to the elder, it's been no more than an hour.
Okay.
Giants are gonna help evacuate.
All right. Do you need any help from our arcanists in town? We have many.
So the thing is,
Oh, okay.
in order for the giants to house everybody,
Okay.
they have to put people in a stasis sleep
Why?
because
There's 5,000 of you.
Because there's 5,000 of you, and
But have you seen storm giants? They're huge.
Yeah, they are, but they don't really have that big of a base. I mean, it's big by our standards, but it's not big enough for an entire town.
Oh, so what do you propose then?
Well, they have these things called sleep kelp, or stasis kelp. Stasis kelp.
Stasis kelp. Interesting.
It helps you breathe in water, but it puts you to sleep, and that could be a little
Uneasing.
unnerving for some people. But in order for the evacuation to work, that is what we will need the townspeople to do.
And the dwarf at the table is like stroking his beard, and he says,
Well, I think we can do this. How long did you say? Did you say a day? Like a full day? Or like tomorrow morning?
We should plan for tomorrow morning. We don't really know when they're set to arrive.
he shouts to one of the guards like near the door, and he says,
Ring the bell. Bring everyone to the bell market.
We could use some help from your arcanists here. If you have any sort of calming magic that you can have them cast.
yes,
Because this will all go a lot easier if people aren't freaking out.
So
I think
your
our
plans
clerics-
to mind control.
I think the town clerics can help with that. They could calm emotion to some degree, and are you planning on fighting them, or are we just hiding and letting the dragons destroy the town? What are we gonna come back to?
We can't say for sure what you'll come back to, but I believe the plan is that we will fight the dragons because they seem to be after us, so it's likely that just evacuating is not going to be good enough. We need to actually handle the problem directly.
So Captain Zor, which, Manette, you recognize that name. That is the lady that you met in a long time ago, just before you guys entered the Troll Moors and fought the owl bears. He says,
Well, if you're planning on fighting, I have 600 troops ready to go. Some of them are still healing from the last attack, and I have to say our town's defenses are not more than 50% currently. But we can try and figure out some sort of battle plan if that's how you want to handle it. If you want to take these dragons on.
Well, you should let your wounded soldiers rest still.
If that's
If
that's the
any of them
case.
are interested in helping, they're welcome. But
I'll put the word out to my men. I wouldn't be surprised if all of them attempted to help. So, anyways, we should start.
and he just like he stands up in the chair he's in, squeals across the marble floor,
And he says, I'll start rounding my men. Are those storm giants, they're gonna be a part of this?
Yes.
All right. I'll take the information to my tacticians.
and he leaves. And the high elf says, "Hi, well, I am the leader of the Arcanists, and I will do my best to round them all up. Do any of you have an idea of what the symbol looks like on the other side? I can then connect our teleportation circles and teleport
a large amount of people.
I walk over and I grab the archivist and I go back to Maelstrom.
That's a lot easier than I was going to do.
You walk up and you grab him by like the collar, and he's like, "Oh God, get your orc off me!" And you just like disappear with a blow of the conch.
Yes.
And you show up and he looks at it, and then you blow the conch really fast, like he only gets like a second to look at it, and then you show back up, and he's like de-wrinkling his robes, and he's, "My brother made these for me. Okay, yes, I think I have it in my mind. I think we're all right. Yes, let me draw this out real quick." And he just goes into his own place and starts like scrolling out the symbols so he doesn't forget it.
What do you mean by your orc?
I'm sorry, I was under distress.
Distress or duress?
I start laughing.
I only get undressed for and he goes back to drawing, and the rest of the elders say, the dwarf, he says, "Well, I think you have a solid plan here, at least getting the town out of here. I would suggest getting down there and getting the orders out to the clerics and making sure everyone is in Bell Market." And that's when the high elf looks up and he says, yes, Bell Market will do. Crunch them all together in the one space, and we'll make sure that everybody can transport.
So I guess now we need to figure out where we would like to set our battleground, and then perhaps help with some city defenses.
Elder Hall.
So
I was kind of thinking Bell Market, but we could kind of, between the two of them, they're right next to each other.
I was kind of thinking outside of town.
So
That's also an option.
You know, away from the
Crazy.
destructible buildings.
Hey, where's Keo at?
Well, as soon as the bells ring, he would fly towards the market. He was doing a lap around the city
yeah.
just to make sure there were no spies.
Okay.
Because as soon as Keo comes back to the group, which probably is around now or before now.
Yeah, that's why I was asking about town. You know, I didn't know.
Hey, Keo, since you've got that nice quick broom, can you scout the outlying area and see if there's a good hillside or field for us to fight dragons in?
Already did it.
Oh, cool.
So you all are in the Bell Market, and I think Manette's the one who's barking most of the orders, or at least that's who Kinian is pushing to make the decisions.
Manette's undoing all of Kinian's bad orders.
Okay.
I'm fronting that I'm commanding these storm giants, but the whole time I keep making eyes at Manette like, am I doing it right?
Is this right?
Please help me.
Please.
Save me from myself.
I'm trying to make a good impression on Sarissa.
I totally said I could use Excel. I don't know how to use Excel.
Ding, ding, ding. Yeah. I see you're trying to mount a combat. Yeah. Would you like some help?
Gotta help, Clippy.
He's making all those charts in Word.
Yeah. And I think, okay, so this is how we're going to do this. So I want you guys to look at the map. You guys all have a copy of the map there.
Hell yeah.
And what we're going to do is you've got 600 people at your disposal. We're going to hand wave the Exodus because you guys have contracted that out to other people.
Now, would the arcane people help us with bouncing to other cities and stuff? You know, because I'm sure a lot of people.
If that's what you want to do. I mean, what do you want to do? Are you bouncing to other cities to gather reinforcements?
That'd be good too.
I would suggest that they bounce to other cities to look for reinforcements and all that kind of jazz, because we're busy.
Sure.
Well, the other thing is you don't want to leave people in stasis. You know.
Yeah.
I'm a little I've seen what happens when people get trapped under the ice, or the kobolds get trapped under the ice. It's not good.
Yeah.
Dan likes the idea of having them basically sent to capital cities rather than put in stasis.
Okay.
Now, if that means like the fastest way for us to handle that is to simply have the Storm Giants help us move them to Maelstrom, and then from Maelstrom shoot them on to another location by basically enlisting high-level magicians to assist with this relocation. That's Dan's preferred method.
Sure.
Kenyan's just gonna drink and smash stuff.
That's my preferred method too. I just don't want to spend time on the nitty-gritty details. So
Right.
I'm just like,
Yeah.
okay, we've got a worst case solution. We've figured out something for them. And for Tin, it's kind of like, okay, soldier, you got to kind of just focus on the big picture.
Right.
So yeah, they can take care of themselves. They can figure
She
things
was
out.
thinking Transcender Manor can hold at least 4,000 of them.
Oh, they got that big crevasse. You just stack them all up in the crevasse, and
So, are the Harpers around?
in here, yeah, there's a few Harpers that are at the your same faction
Are
level.
they able to communicate with other cities of Harpers and call for reinforcements?
Potentially, if they bounce around. So let's say yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but anybody sensible is not going to be coming into a town to fight for dragons.
I'm not really talking about reinforcements for
Sure.
the
town.
the fight.
Okay.
I'm
You're
talking
talking
about
about
for the evacuation.
The
Yeah.
If we
humanitarian
want to
crisis.
if we want to do other things aside from send everybody to Maelstrom and put them in stasis, then I mean, we've got the Harpers that theoretically sometime they're going to finish their teleportation stuff and can start at least going to the other Harpers
Bouncing people.
and getting all sorts of teleportation stuff up and
And
running.
that
But we
might
can't
be-
afford to like hire all the mages we'd need to teleport everybody out.
Right.
So
Well, so at this point, because it's a town crisis, all those mages are doing it pro bono, right? So
the mages here are, but if
Right,
we need
right,
to
right.
go out and
I
get
got it.
more,
I see what you're saying.
they're not just going to help because the city's in need. They will help because they're getting paid.
Right.
The Emerald Enclave would definitely help, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think
Yeah, but most of the townspeople aren't going to want to live in the woods and eat twigs and berries and stuff. So
I think what do you just high level this for me as far as like the humanitarian stuff? What do you want to happen? Because I mean this is more of tell me what you think is gonna happen.
all right. Well, I think we get them out, and even if they need to be put in stasis for a short time, that's okay. But it's important to have the refugees spread in a lot of towns because then it's going to create less of a target for the cult of the dragon.
Sure. So let me explain what we're going to do here, right? So basically, what I'm going to allow for is I want you guys to kind of set this whole thing up. I want you to kind of dictate where the final battle is going to happen and kind of how this exodus happens. And then based on what you guys tell me, I'll let you know how things actually happen, right? And then from there we'll get into the final battle. So go ahead. What?
In terms of town defenses, any of the soldiers who volunteer to help, are we able to have them build a catapult or 3?
Not in a day.
Okay.
That's not to say that they don't have like ballistas and stuff like that already available.
Okay.
This town's got pretty good defenses. The problem is Hoarfrost softened it up pretty good.
Kenyan's basically walking through Elder Hall, leaving weapons all over the place.
Like at the door, like at the windows, like the Alamo.
Yes.
I like it. Okay. Okay. Yeah,
I've-
you're just like
I've
you're
already
taking people's
decided.
crossbows and like putting them.
I've already decided this is where I'm making
Hell
my
yeah.
last stand.
Fuck yeah, dude. I like
So-
that.
Tin goes to that dwarven council member person
Uh huh.
and asks for a rundown of what defenses / weapons are currently operable that can be used.
Actually, so you remember him to be the captain of the guard is the human
Oh, then
guard.
that guy.
Yep. But they're actually both together. So let's see here. So the human male, Captain Zor, he says,
Wait, what do you need to know?
What defenses / weapons you have that are in a usable state?
Well, from what I've gotten from my reports is we have 7 ballistas available, and 600 able-bodied men and women.
So what direction? Do we know the direction the dragons are coming from?
no, but you can
We can infer it's from the north.
yes,
All right.
yes.
Actually, Keo starts building a fortress north of town.
Okay. What is this, like a snow fort?
No, it's so I have the spell Move Earth, and
okay.
I can hold it for 2 hours, and every 10 minutes, I can create a wall. So I can actually, I think I'd make trenches, but I can make so a 40-foot square. I can create a pillar up to 20 feet high.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I do that every 10 minutes. So I can shape a lot of earth.
Yeah,
That's
with
pretty
the
cool.
spell.
Okay.
And so I'm making like these trenches north of town to
Okay,
fight.
like World War I trenches, like deep and okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think, holding the spell the full 2 hours, I could make a complex big enough for the 600
Okay. Okay, yeah.
with
I like
pits
that.
for the ballistas.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm down with that.
You gotta
On
protect
the north
them
side?
ballistas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Hopefully to intercept before the.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that would protect because these are like low-level town guards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We want to.
Okay.
Okay,
Is there anything else anybody wants to do?
I'm
Yes.
worried about people dying.
Meta talk, which isn't actually meta because we can all discuss
Mhm.
in character. So my Claw of the Worm Rune,
Mhm.
one of the abilities is tracing the worm rune on the ground, making a spherical area of magic with a 100-foot radius fixed to that place. This would be permanent usage, but then in that space, any dragon has disadvantage on saving throws and can have a flying speed no higher than 10 feet.
Elder Hall.
Can the can Orca Team 6 pick up our boat? Yeah, then we put the rune on the boat.
Yes.
And then make sure the boat somehow doesn't get damaged more.
Are you talking? Wait. Hold on. They can pick the boat up. Do you want it in the trenches? Where do you want it?
Well, I was just thinking that rune, if it's a permanent use,
Yeah.
put it on the ship and
Uh-huh.
It
Kinda
does
have
seem
the ship
like
somewhere.
a very good usage for the boat. However, yeah,
it would ensure its destruction.
it might be good for you just to have the resistance for this fight. Because the main thing is.
Okay, I just wanted to put it open out.
Yeah.
I'm happy to have the
Okay.
resistance. So
I think after we fix the boat, we probably want to slap that on there though.
Okay.
dragons fall out of the sky.
Yeah.
We do tend to piss off dragons.
It's not every
A
day
lot.
when you have 4 dragons come for you. I don't think it's going to make much of a difference to our little boat.
Well, and
Tonight.
yeah, and there's gonna be more coming. So yeah, maybe we should save it for that.
Okay.
I'm curious. While like early on in the evacuation type things,
Yeah.
would is haste potions a thing that would be able to be found in Bell Market?
Haste
Dude,
potions.
those would be so expensive, and I'd buy all of them.
I'm just curious if that's a thing that exists, and then how much money it would be.
I think it would exist. I don't think it exists here,
Okay,
though.
that's cool.
I don't think anybody has anything like that. And if so, it's probably like super, super rare.
Well, it's probably like $1,000 or $1,500 per.
Yeah, and like the Zents would probably be controlling a lot of that.
Okay, no worries.
I want some of those, DM,
Okay.
for Christmas.
Noted. For Christmas.
Put in my stocking.
Okay. Yeah. 300 something days from now.
Yes.
I do. I take out my silverware and I start putting them in the ground.
Okay.
Some of them sticking up.
Getting ready. Okay.
The one thing
I've
I
mentioned
will.
that I want potions,
Yes.
and I've got 0.
The one thing I will mention is that as soon as I see dragons in the far, far distance approaching, I'm going to cast Death Ward on Kenyon.
Nice.
And then I don't know if Kia would want it. Minette can stay far away from action, but
So I'm gonna live, maybe.
Kyo prefers to be in. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't say no.
okay.
Yeah.
Then I'll
That'd be good.
cast.
Keo wants to live.
It's only one action, so my 2 actions, like while they're super in the distance, so that by the time they're somewhat closer, I don't have to spend initiative actions on it.
Okay.
Because it
And-
lasts 8 hours.
And just for continuity, Bon is helping with the evacuation, so he doesn't need it.
Cool.
Yeah.
And
Plus, he's like an angel.
Yeah.
let me
Yeah,
see.
he's fine. Fine. Minette, where are you setting up? Are you setting up in the town elder or the elder hall or
He wants
hall
to
of
fight
elders?
outside the city.
Yeah, but I mean, he can literally sit in the hall of elders and shoot outside of the city. And so if we're looking at this map,
And I've left probably about 100 weapons at this point.
Yeah.
Scattered through Elder Hall.
so if we're looking
Just
at this
taking them
map,
from like, the
everyone,
ship reserves.
Oh, yeah.
the north gate,
Lances and all sorts of fun stuff.
the
It's not
northernmost
concentration.
gate is probably where Kyo's setting up.
Well, outside of that, yeah.
Yeah. But that's where I think it would be, and near the forest, creating some sort of funneling if there's like ground troops and stuff like that. So
How tall are the remains of Moongleam Tower?
not very tall, not as tall as the actual.
Now, the northern wall's still
wall.
intact, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Man, I was hoping for some sweet sniper action from the tower.
Well, if Minette.
Oh, I see what you're trying.
Yeah, dude.
You could sit up on the wall though.
I don't want to be up on the wall.
Okay.
The wall is going to be a target for flybys.
Yeah.
Well, even
Well,
like if you're outside City Hall
Negative
on the
Ghost
north.
Rider, the pattern is full.
I want to be in some random building that is not
Occupied?
occupied by anybody.
There's farm buildings out there. You could be like out like in a lone farm building somewhere.
Hopefully with your silencer on.
I'll be somewhere in the city, but
Okay.
I was gonna say with a 1,000-foot range, you could just choose a building near Elder Hall, since that seems where the rest of us will be.
The height
And
is
you'll
the
still-
problem. That's the trouble. Because you've got the wall around the town to deal with.
if they're flying around, I'm not worried about height.
Okay.
Hootie's gonna be out to just kind of inconspicuous for me to get a bird's eye view. You know, quite literally.
All right.
Yeah.
Is Kenyon able to do the same thing on the same animal? I know you can look through
I
beast's
can
eyes.
look through beast eyes, but not through familiars.
Oh, okay.
A familiar is
'cause
not
they're-
an actual animal.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I mean,
Is there a
It
random?
appears to be an animal, but it is not.
Would there possibly be a broom of flying around that's
Kios.
not Kios?
give me a percentile
You know what?
roll, please.
I would lend you my broom of flying if you lend me your other wand, your wand of magic missiles.
That's attached to the thunder cannon.
Yeah.
Oh,
Cannot be removed.
Pretty sure like he would be like, oh, I remember you.
Well, I have
Jumping.
one, but two's better.
don't you have locate as a spell?
locate item?
Locate item. No, I don't. That's a problem.
Kio's like
I'm pretty
No, I meant-
limited.
I meant
back
my
when
bad,
with the
sorry.
one of magic missiles was badass.
21.
21. No.
In
I
Fan
thought
Elder.
not, you don't have locate item?
Season 1, always keep branding.
Oh,
I
thought
barely
you
have
did.
any spells.
So when it comes to actual battle, I'm probably going to haste Kinian and then one of the ballista guys.
One of the ballista guys? I like it.
Hell yeah, bro.
Holy shit, bro.
One extra ballista shot. It's like 8 instead
all right,
of 7.
All right. So like you approach this one guard and he's like
He looks like he's the one who looks off into the distance. You know.
He's had a few.
yeah, like a
battles behind
1,000-yard stare.
Is
that what
his
you're talking
name
about?
Channing?
No, his name's Dale.
Dale.
Yep, Dale. And
We're gonna
Dale's
call him
seen some
Hawkeye
shit.
now, though.
Hawkeye? Yeah.
Does he have a red nose?
No.
Dale.
Oh, the drunk one.
Yes, the drunk one.
His hands are nice and steady.
Yeah, yeah. I think he's very Kinian like he drinks a lot, but that's
damn
only
it.
to keep the shakes down. And
It's important.
yeah. So, anyways, yeah. You haste Dale.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Yeah. His brother Chip's an asshole, and nobody likes him.
fucking Chip.
Fuck Chip.
Fuck Chip. I haven't seen him in a while.
Did you want my potion of greater invisibility?
Does that
Never say yes or never say no.
Don't say yes to drugs.
10 rounds. You are invisible the whole time.
You'd have advantage.
Yeah,
Even
no
if you
matter the
attack.
attack.
Yes.
I think that's better used for him than me.
Yeah. So it is the morn of the next day.
Oh god, we're mourning someone?
Oh
now?
yes, the
The-
losses to come.
The day.
Slowfoot! Did I, help Slowfoot out of the city?
Slow.
Yes.
The morn
Slowhoof?
of.
If
Sorry.
the Giants
We
fucking
wrapped
eat
his
my
head in.
horse, buddy, I'm gonna be pissed.
Don't worry, Kinian. We wrapped his head in seaweed and threw him in the river.
Now he's a seahorse.
For your pirate sea captain. Yes.
Oh, I got you with that one.
Yes. I love seahorse.
I just love staring at AJ and his reactions to the dumbass shit we say.
No,
Oh,
so
poor
it's
minute.
not like the morn of the next day, whatever. It's the morn of the day that became known as the Battle of
Yes.
Insert.
The Battle
Yes.
of Everland.
The fall of Everland.
What?
That's at least what it's called on my paper.
Yeah.
Anyways,
It better be fall, as in the season.
It's winter.
it's
Oh,
winter.
We just had midwinter happen.
I think what you see is 600 troops preparing themselves in these trenches. Not really sure what they're going to meet in battle. Yeah, they definitely have been told about the dragons, and I believe
We spread out all our extra magic weapons and stuff to people.
Yeah, those +1s that we've
Yeah.
just been doing nothing with
and,
finally are helpful.
and I think Minette's setting up, just finishing up what needs to happen. Just making sure your rifle's clean and ready to
Casting
go. Yeah, casting mend, and making sure that your arcane ward is on it and all that stuff. And Kinian, are you still setting up, or are you up on the front lines, giving a Kinian speech?
I'm in Bell Market, preparing for battle.
Okay.
I'm
It's
actually
very empty.
shaving my head completely,
Oh gosh.
Oh shit. Okay.
and I'm smearing mud down my face.
Completely, or are you leaving a mohawk, or are you just
No.
going bald?
completely bald,
Okay.
and
Okay.
I'm covering myself in mud.
You gonna fight the predator?
Now, hopefully these dragons don't have self-destruct
Yeah.
or shoulder cannons, because that shit will fuck you up.
True.
And then I will head to the front lines,
Okay.
covered in mud.
Okay. Okay.
No
The
hair.
front lines, outside the town.
Yes.
Okay, so you're not doing Elders
No,
anymore.
it's just preparing myself.
And you're walking through
Gotcha.
this town.
Slow
Uh,
walk.
Yeah, slow walk. It's winter, so it's very cold. The breeze cuts. it's like a cutting breeze. Like it's so cold your skin feels brittle. And you're walking through this like ghostly quiet town. You walk by a building and you see Manette posted up in one of the windows, and he kind of gives you the thumbs up as you walk by. And Kenny, and you're walking through these ghostly quiet streets, and you come to the north gate, and it slowly opens, and what you see is these trenches that Keo's been digging through the previous day and into the late night, preparing for the coming battle. And you see 600 people nervously preparing, and you walk forward.
I walk up to Jeff, and I give him a fist bump.
Jeff like gives you a fist bump, and he's like,
Let's do this.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening to another episode of Roll with Advantage. I just wanted to give a quick thanks for dealing with our weird release times these last couple of episodes. Still trying to get in the swing of babies and fatherhood and all that stuff. So yeah, if you want, check out dmstable.com. They've got blogs, some info on characters, and a whole bunch of nerd stuff. Otherwise, we'll see you back here next week. See you out on the internet, guys.